Let's go in here. Not all of this is long hay. Ooh, look at the heat. Man, there ain't nothing more fun than hauling manure. Love it. Don't know if I'd want to do it every day of every week for the rest of my life, but for several times a year, I could easily do it. Not going to get too carried away on spreader size. For heaping, we don't need to heap that spreader up too much for that poor little 4430. If I hit the throttle, that's the part you don't want. You don't want to hit the throttle or hit a tough spot and make that governor kick in. I gotta push that gate back. See, that head gate is creeping on that outlet must leak a little bit on the tractor. There. I'll have to remember to put that lever in float so that hydro push gate doesn't keep creeping back. That was highly unprofessional. I like loading with these 4-tines at first. That works pretty slick. There. How about we call that a load? Look at it, just steaming. And we're spreading. We got a little water up here. We might I might turn around before that water. Or see if we can't shut the spreader off. And we're spreading. There's still some soft spots up here. I can't believe how green it is. This is just absolutely gorgeous. Jeremy, he's got British whites there. Them are the cutest little calves. You're so used to seeing colors, and then the little white fellers running around. That's cute. Well, this is kind of weird. I've never known the farm to not have this dry cow barn here, and so we wanted to take this down, and then we want to open up the end of the dairy barn and then gut the dairy barn and use it for cold storage and machine shed kind of stuff. So we're going to leave the concrete here. The only thing we need to do is just knock this curb out and get these stalls out. That motor and hood obviously and that unloader just come off, and then just put a layer of sand or gravel, or even just a P-rock, whatever. Just put a layer of something over this, so you got a good area here to come up and go into the barn with. And so, yeah, I don't know if I said it, but an Amish church, they took it down piece by piece. They took it down, and they saved this wall and that wall for us here, and then they'll raise it for themselves back at their farm. So kind of cool. Well, I had to switch over to the bucket. Just be gentle. It's not heavy. That bucket wasn't heavy. There was a lot of fluff in it. Maybe I should have combed through that pile a little more. Bushel spreader and 4 buckets. I gotta be careful back here. There's a hole in the concrete. That's a heavy bucket. Trying to set it in gently. Feel that manure is like a bucket of clay. It's easier to pull the pile back a little bit than to keep pushing into it. There we go. Look at the size of that guy. Oh, got him, you got... There are just some big worms this year. This is exciting. This is really exciting. This is good stuff. Really good stuff. So the barley or wheat is coming up. That's the green we're seeing. So that'll be nice. Gosh, this is gonna make a fantastic field. There's some hairy vetch, some volunteer hairy vetch, lots of pennycress. There's some random sprigs of alfalfa. And so everything is green and growing and putting carbon into my soil. The cows didn't cause a whole lot of damage. So what we're going to do, look at the size of that hole. Talk about infiltration rate. Holy moly. So what we'll do behind the spreader is we'll just hit it. We'll hit this with the finisher a couple times to smooth it up. And then strip till and plant. Yeah. Man, it's gonna be a nice field. Look at the flies. Them yellow flies are a dung fly. They're good. Them are ones we want. Just teeming on that thing. They're the ones. Look at the whole ground just moving with them things. I heard a rumor that them are the flies that eat larvae of our nuisance, our horn flies and that kind of stuff. Gosh, that is just awesome to see. Life, you know, you put life out here and life helps life instead of carrying death around your farm. Well, here we are. We're on the other side of the pasture now, or feedlot. Yeah, we got this whole area where I'm sitting cleaned up. And now we just got this, just a few loads left along the barn here. And we'll scrape up this little bit of the feedlot. We got four or five loads left, but either way, let's stay late tonight and get it finished up. There we go. You can feel that weight sitting in the bucket. There we go. That's a heck of a said, I never thought for 1 minute, I never thought I would ever get this feedlot cleaned up in a day, but since we can't finish 100% of it, yeah, I got all this, that huge pile that was back here and all this concrete cleaned up. Since we can't finish 100% anyhow, whatever I get done tonight is what I get done. And then during the mud season, we either put whole bales or chop bales out here to kind of keep the cows high and dry to spare the field. Like I said, that's a July, August crawler loader. Slowly bring this up to the concrete, and you probably have a fair amount of loads there. And then in the fall, it can go on the alfalfa or the next field or across the road, whatever. Now that the manure is hauled out, we got this going on. What in tarnations am I doing? Well, I'm gonna just irritate everybody in the no-till crowd, and I've been a big fan of Marion Calmer, so if he's gonna moldboard and show a yield response, then I will too. I'm just kidding. No, the field is gonna just boil up around that sweep. The field is ungodly rough, so our primary goal is to smooth the field up. Our secondary goal is to take out the compaction in the top couple inches from the cattle and to knock out the barley grass that's growing. I would argue and say this shallow tillage is making the soil less damaged or more healthy, because it's going to allow us to get oxygen into the soil, but it is doing less damage than the amount of chemicals I would have to put on to kill the barley and the broadleaves. And so if we could reduce our tillage and reduce herbicide use, but still use both tools to the best of their ability, so we still will have a chemical going on here, but it's going to be less chemicals than if I didn't do tillage, if that makes sense. I guess if the organic guys get to use tillage, why can't I? That's my goal, is to try and just be better. Try and be better. And so we'll have these videos in a different conversation. Come into the headland, I hit cruise control number 2. That slows me way down, so then I can plenty of time to lift up and turn around. Somehow there's a water bucket that got blown into the wind yesterday. You would not believe the wind. And yeah. So so little disturbance, you run through the hay and the hay is still right there. Yeah. Yep. So there we go. I will check back with you guys in a little bit.